morning. Meteorologist Lisa Green here with a look at our forecast as we are warming up today. Finally, after what was a very fall-like feel to the weekend, and I know a lot of people were very happy about it. It was refreshing, and conditions were, more comfortable outside. Helped to kind of tame the mosquitoes a little bit. But, I know a lot of people want summer to still hang around at least through Labor Day. And so we're going to take a look at our forecast heading into Labor Day weekend. And it all starts with, of course, our continued coverage of back to school and first day forecast for the region. And today we don't really have too many students going back to school, aside from, I guess, a couple of big universities in the Valley, NDSU and UND. And the reason I kind of said that was because some of these students who, in classes who were heading back for the fall semester, some of that already started yesterday afternoon and night. So this is the first full day of classes for UND and NDSU students. So happy first day. Hopefully you like all your classes and things go well for you here today. Let's take a look at what we can expect as far as temperatures, how it might impact what outfit you choose for your back to school plans. And, really looking at today being a day, yesterday we showed this graphic and I suggested a flannel or a hoodie to stay warm. Today, especially if you're going out right now and during the afternoon hours, you may not need any of that, just a t-shirt, but sunglasses might be a good idea here because we're looking at temperatures getting into some upper 70s, so nice and comfortable, some of us even into the low 80s this afternoon, and sunshine too. So looking pretty good for that first day of classes. Soon enough, we'll be trudging through the snow here. We don't want to talk about that too much, but we do have some signs of some change, including today is kind of a big holiday for people who are big fans of the PSL, the pumpkin spice latte, and the OG of making that latte, Starbucks, is releasing them today. So if you're a fan, you probably already know that. But if you are heading out for a pumpkin spice latte, here's our pumpkin spice level for today. Still summerish. Now yesterday it was more in that feeling like fall category, but now a little more on the summery side. And again, temperatures starting off more in the 60s into mid-morning now, and then heading into the afternoon we'll get into some upper 70s, and then this evening into some 70s if you're going to head out to the coffee shop to maybe work on your first homework of the season here. So here's a look at what we can expect as we move forward in the forecast. So a couple of our first alert headlines, again, back to summer starting today. We've got those warmer temperatures and seeing some 80s even return. We do have a quiet stretch here in general as far as chances for rain and thunder. However, there are some chances. They're not zero. And they may come as early as overnight tonight and into tomorrow. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. But it is a low risk for storms and certainly a low risk for severe heading into tomorrow's chance. And then, of course, Labor Day weekend. We're watching for some showers for Labor Day weekend. So we're going to talk about that coming up here. So let's take a look at our hour-by-hour forecast. Really looking at a lot of places getting to enjoy some clear skies. But as you look up to the north and west, there is that possibility as the morning goes on into the afternoon that we could have some lingering clouds in those places like Lake of the Woods, Red Lake, the Bemidji area. The potential of that affecting us may continue on even into the afternoon. This is 4 p.m. and you can see some green there. I can't rule out a sprinkle in any clouds that are passing by here. So here's a look at what we can expect as we head into tonight. That moves on. We're looking at improved conditions and a pretty boring map here, so we're going to zip right through it. Wind out of the south or southwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour, by the way, today. Okay, so let's move on to tomorrow morning. This is 8 a.m. on Wednesday, and you can see there's something going on up along the international border from Lake of the Woods through the Boundary Waters area. And we've got another wave moving through. So I'm going to move on into our forecast for Wednesday really quickly. And you can see we paused the clock at noon, and we're looking at some clouds trying to dip in, a little bit of shower or thunder shower activity. But this is minor. If you have some thunderstorms, of course you don't want to be out in a thunderstorm because whether it's severe or not, lightning is always dangerous, so keep that in mind. But you can see some areas picking up a little bit of rain, a lot of places staying dry, especially if you're in our western viewing area. Tomorrow you're more likely to have sunshine. The farther east you are, the more likely you are to see more clouds and the potential for some thunderstorm activity. So this is 9 p.m. tomorrow night. You can even see some isolated showers in and around the FM area. But as we look a little farther east, again, this is really close to Park Rapids, that little cell that's right there. So some of our eastern viewing area, a little heavier rain with an isolated cell that moves through. And again, that possibility for some lightning with that. Now, as we move into the late night hours, you can see that potential still lingers in that area. So again, watching for the possibility for some showers or thunder showers for those places the farther east you go into Wednesday. But the risk is on the low end, and the chances of it happening on the lower end too for the farther east or west you go rather. So here's a look at our severe storm risk for day 2. We're not under a severe storm risk. We're actually looking at non-severe thunderstorms more likely. So again, in some of those same areas we just showed you on our map, this is what the SPC is thinking too. And Fargo-Moorhead is on the edge of that. So again, could see some rain tomorrow night in the metro, but the farther west you go, less likelihood of that. So that's a look at our forecast heading into the next 24 to 48 hours. Now we're talking about Labor Day weekend, and it's going to be interesting because we have right now we're using our long range models to look ahead to Labor Day weekend. It's still, 4, 5, 6 days away if we're looking ahead all the way to Labor Day. And so, there's not, the resolution is a little lower. The coverage is not necessarily nailed down yet, and the timing is not either, because both of our long-range models that we use pretty heavily, the European and the American model, not necessarily in full consensus on which days and when we're going to get the rain, but both are showing a chance for some showers each day. Our European model shows it more Sunday night and into Monday on Labor Day, and then the American kind of front loads it into the earlier part of the weekend. So this is something we'll nail down as we get closer, as we get into the second half of the week, and hopefully those models will come into consensus, and then as we start to get our medium range models picking up the weekend events, we'll be able to kind of look at all of the possibilities and come to a conclusion of what we think exactly is going to happen. But right now, I'd be prepared for a chance for some rain any day, but it might be a situation where it rains for 15 minutes and then it's done. Or you might be in an area that doesn't see the showers pass through one of the days, and then the next day you are. So again, just be prepared for that, but I wouldn't cancel plans. I'd still, if you have outdoor events, still plan on those. Just have a contingency plan in case of some rain. And one other thing to point out too is that we're looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. So no, not like summer sizzle kind of heat, but our average high for today's date is 79. So this is running in that range, slightly below, but right around average here for the holiday weekend to come. So not bad at all here in the forecast. Let's take a look at your 11-day planner. Expect to see some conditions that are within this range of low 70s to low 80s essentially for the next 11 days. I have 78 today. And then looking at 83 on Wednesday, that may be our warmest day. And then you can see more mid to upper 70s through the holiday weekend with those rain chances heading into Labor Day, which is, by the way, the first day of September, first day of meteorological fall. But we get to keep around those milder temperatures, some 70s heading into those first few days in that first work week and school week of September. I know Minnesota students will be heading back to school on Tuesday, and so far it's looking pretty good for that too. So all in all, not bad here heading into the week. A lot of days that are going to be dry and quiet. The threat for severe has really come down, which is great. And we are looking out for some rain chances. Again, a few spotty showers tomorrow, as we just went over a little bit ago. And then again this weekend, watching out for more rain. Right now, to me, it looks like Labor Day may be the day that has the best shot of seeing some rain at this point. But of course, as we get closer, we'll fine tune that forecast again for you here coming up. And temperatures just kind of staying in that nice even zone where it's comfortable, 70s to low 80s. It's still warm, still feels like summer, but it's not necessarily quite feeling that intense heat of summer in the next 11 days. So enjoy this. We'll, of course, continue to keep you updated on the forecast with more details on what to expect into Labor Day and beyond as we start moving into the Burr months, September, the first one, coming up here in the forecast. Otherwise, have a great Tuesday and enjoy the sunshine.